Alright, so this is part 3 to What If Female Deku with Kaguya Otsutsuki. Now, you can expect 3 videos today. This will be the first video, the next one will be part 5 to Apollyon, and the next one will be a new What If that I will be doing. So, we'll pick up after the USJ incident, where the students are given where both Class 1A and Class 1B are given 2 weeks off for the incident and for UA to up their security. So in those 2 weeks, Kaguya and Aizawa have been dealing with some crimes and getting some work ready, and eventually one night, when they both don't have anything else to do, they end up, how should I say this? They end up doing the deed, as the next day would roll around with Kaguya feeling abnormally nauseous as she would go to throw up, with both her and Aizawa being confused by this, with her using her Byakugans and her Rin Sharingan to detect for anything that could have caused this. And as soon as Kaguya finds it, tears begin to roll down her face. Now, these aren't sad tears, these are more or less tears of joy, as she tells Aizawa that she is pregnant, with Aizawa being incredibly happy about this as well, with them realizing that Kaguya probably couldn't do any hero work due to this, but with her stating that she could just send out some shadow clones to fight them. Or, okay, so I'm going to say this. I probably should have covered this in the first bit. Instead of needing the tree that she used in canon to create the White Zetsu army, she can just do that normally, and she can also create shadow clones. So that's what she does. She just creates White Zetsus to go along with her shadow clones to do her hero work, while she remains at UA to do the work as a teacher, with her shadow clones and the White Zetsus doing the hero work. Now we'll get back to when the students get back to their classes, with Kaguya and Aizawa telling their respective classes that the UA Sports Festival is coming up in a week, and they better be prepared for it, so they should start training a lot harder than they have ever done before. With a lot of the students noticing that Kaguya does looks a bit more exhausted than usual, but they don't really draw any attention to it. Now, the students who notice this are Kendo and Tetsu. As we then get to the UA staff room with Mike and Midnight noticing that Kaguya is eating a lot more than she would normally eat, with Aizawa then spilling the beans to Midnight and Mike, stating that Kaguya is pregnant, with them congratulating the two of them and asking Kaguya if it is going to be a boy or a girl, and they state that they don't know what it will be at this moment in time, but but Kaguya says that she can try to check as she uses her Byakugan and Sharingan again to detect it, and I'm not sure if the Byakugan can detect that far into a person. All I know is that can pick up like where their chakra points are, but I'm going to say that it can detect life forces as well. With Kaguya noticing that there is another one in there as well, and Kaguya then states that it's a boy and it's going to be twins, and they're both boys. With Midnight just jumping with joy, and Mike is just in shock that Aizawa could pull something like this off. Knowing that Mike thinking that it probably would have taken a lot longer for Aizawa and Kaguya to get it done. With the sports festival rolling around, Kaguya ends up staying home that day, but she sends a shadow clone with Aizawa to announce for the sports festival. With the sports festival going sort of similar as it did in canon, with Izuki telling Todoroki that it's his quirk, not Endeavor's, with Todoroki using his fire side, and Bakugo winning the sports festival, with them heading for their internships. And once Aizawa gets back home, Kaguya greets him back to the house as Kaguya is about to collapse from exhaustion, with Aizawa saying that you shouldn't overexert yourself, with Kaguya stating that she knows and she can call off her shadow clones since it's taking up a lot of energy to keep them up. With her snapping her fingers, and the shadow clone that had resolved the incident just disappeared into a puff of smoke, with the White Zetsus returning to their estate. With us flashing forward to the end of the internships, with them ending up with Ida being saved by Izuki instead of Izuku. So and also I got the hero names for Mitsuki and Inko. So Inko would be Esper, I think that is, and Mitsuki would be Dynamite. So Mitsuki and Inko have been told that Kaguya is pregnant, and they were both extremely happy about this, knowing that Kaguya will eventually end up joining the mom squad. Since as we both know, Inko and Mitsuki both have kids, so Kaguya will be the new addition to it. As Mitsuki and Inko do visit Kaguya often, when Aizawa is not in the house, because I think Aizawa usually does his pro hero work at night, so he's usually around during the days, but at night he's out doing his hero work. With essentially us kind a couple months later. Now, I'm going to say that the training camp happens a lot later. So Kaguya eventually feels a sharp pain. We'll cut to the 9 months mark, And Kaguya eventually feels a very sharp pain in her abdomen, with her realizing that that the twins are coming out. With her immediately using her dimensional warping abilities to warp to the hospital and get herself a room, where eventually a couple hours later, after Aizawa had gone there, Kaguya eventually has the two twins, who are, as we all know, the sons of Kaguya Otsutsuki, Hagoromo and Hamaru Otsutsuki. So, Hamaru, I think it was Hagoromo, what was his name again? Hagoromo was the oldest, I believe he was the oldest, with Hamura being the youngest, as Kaguya is happy that she ended up having two healthy children. With Gran Torino coming by to visit so he could see his grandkids, with him immediately going soft at the sight of them. With that over with, we then get to the I'll then end it here. So I do hope you guys enjoyed, and just so you know, and just to remind you, for those who've forgotten, later will be part 5 to Apollyon, and then later on will be a new What If to fill in the gap that the Shalithrit one left after I finished it. So I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.